Hello, this is Uta Hagen here of Trans Widow Uta Hagen YouTube channel with another motherhood picture with me and my older son. He was maybe 6 or 7 months old and he was in his pudgy babyhood stage, and I was in my motherhood stage of trying to lose the last of the pregnancy weight. Yes, and oh my goodness. So I am doing a series now on the wellness checklist and going through considerations of my 5 questions for life. Um, yes, if you're thinking of Jordan Peterson and how I might be modeling myself on his 12 rules for life or something like that, maybe there's a little unconscious influence there. But I do think that my 5 questions for life are very important for the reset of how do we talk to these children and adolescents who are coming to the psychological professionals asking questions about their identity because they have been brainwashed from outside sources, or perhaps because they have experienced some kind of trauma or abuse, and that is a maladaptive trauma response that they are experiencing. I think that could have happened to me because I was molested by my older boy next door neighbor when I was a young child, because I remember what I was wearing. I know I was about 5 years old, and how I kept myself from being re-traumatized and re-victimized was if he came outside, I went inside. My parents and my sisters thought I was this kind of moody kid because I never told any of them why I was afraid of that guy next door. And so children go through all kinds of confusing experiences when other children or adults do inappropriate and dangerous things to them, and start imagining that children have the capacity to consent to being touched or being treated sexually, which is inappropriate. But if a child comes to you thinking that they perhaps have the brain of the opposite sex because they just don't want to be in their body, it is not a brain body problem that needs to be solved by changing the body. It is a mind-body connection problem that needs to be fixed by strengthening that connection between the mind and the body, and through strategies to lower the levels of anxiety. And I will go through some of those strategies another time. I have lots and lots of them in my movement videos. But the first part of the body for my question number 1, do you want a healthy body for a long life? The first body part to talk about is the voice. This importance of the voice is both metaphorical and real and physical, because we talk about not having a voice, meaning people shut us down and shut us up, which is what the ex-husbands and the mental health people do to trans widows. But there is also the actual sensitivity of the vocal cords themselves. All through your life, your vocal cords change, and there are temporary vocal cord problems when we get sick, when we have a sore throat. There are overuse problems when we've been talking too much. I know this as a teacher. And I think that all the side effects are just written in this small print when the parents and children are introduced to the concept of gonadotrophin agonists, which are the puberty blockers, chemicals that act on the pituitary gland, um, and that are considered standard so-called affirmative care of a child with a psychological crisis going on that is in their head. It is nothing wrong with their body except that they might have been traumatized by someone else misusing their body. Um, and children have higher voices naturally and mature into lower voices, even females. Of course, we know how males go through that period of their voice lowering, and sometimes a time when they're 13 or 14 or so when the voice cracks. I mean, think about how sensitive the vocal cords are, and and how girls who are given testosterone in their teen years will have a lowered voice, which can never go back to the natural natal female voice that they would have had after taking some period of testosterone. It's almost like the voice is the canary. It makes sense. Canaries sing, right? Canaries are those songbirds. It's almost like the voice is the canary in the coal mine for the body. And this is something that when a confused individual who is male is taking estrogen, and when a confused female is taking testosterone, they are waiting for some changes in their voice because that's what they're looking for. And they don't realize that they're damaging their voice. We know that damage can happen because we trans widows will tell you that after a few years on estrogen, our ex-husbands sound like they used to be a pack-a-day smoker. They sound like a woman. I can't think of who on The Simpsons. You know, there's a character. It's not Marge. You can put in the comments who the character is that has this female character with this very rough, scratchy voice, who is a smoker on the show. I think I've got it right. That it's The Simpsons. You know, our voices are sensitive. When we get emotional, we sort of lose our voice and it gets clenched. And when we get emotional, sometimes we can't sing. And the singing voice is a very important part of our expression. There are many people who think, well, I'm not a singer, I can't sing, I don't have rhythm. And that is just simply a factor of our experience and whether we got the training. Um, Everyone can learn how to sing. And for example, the detransitioner Cattinson is a beautiful singer. She went on testosterone when she was in her teens and going through a crisis, but she detransitioned. And she said it damaged her voice, and she thinks that it's permanent, although she still can sing. And for example, also Sam Kaye of Call Me Sam YouTube channel, formerly Maya for 25 years, and he was on estrogen for 25 years, detransitioned over the last 2 years, got the breast implants taken out, and his voice recovered. He almost had no voice. He was almost whispering on his channel before he fully detransitioned, and now it seems like his voice is coming back, although it's a little bit ragged. So, you know, what I would really like to see is logical exploration of every single body part and the health ramifications of puberty blockers and wrong sex hormones for the patients who are doing that, because all they know about it is from the tiny, tiny small print, which is glossed over, and they are told this big sword of Damocles of possibly becoming suicidal is what's in their future if they don't do these damaging drugs. That's all for now. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Post out somewhere because I think we're growing. We're coming back to reality. We're coming back to health, wellness, and mind body connection. Go and take your walk and come back.